Something is happening across America. Millions are packing up and leaving their homes. They are searching for a better life. Why are so many people moving? What is driving this great migration? The answer is complex. It involves a combination of factors. These factors are reshaping the American landscape. The cost of living is skyrocketing in many parts of the country. Economic uncertainty is pushing people to seek stability elsewhere. Housing costs are becoming unbearable for many families. At the same time, the rise of remote work is giving people the freedom to live where they choose. This perfect storm of factors is causing a massive shift in where Americans choose to live and work. This essay will explore the key drivers of this great relocation. We will examine the economic, social, and political forces at play. We will look at where people are moving and why. Finally, we will consider the potential consequences of this mass migration for the future of the United States. One of the biggest factors driving the Great Relocation is the rising cost of living. This phenomenon is not just a fleeting trend but a significant shift in how people are choosing to live their lives. The financial strain is pushing families to make drastic changes, uprooting their lives in search of more affordable living conditions. In many major cities, the cost of housing, groceries, transportation, and healthcare has become unsustainable for many families. The price of everyday essentials has skyrocketed, making it increasingly difficult for people to maintain their standard of living. Families are finding it hard to balance their budgets, often having to choose between necessities like food and healthcare. For example, according to Zillow, the median home price in San Francisco is now over $1.5 million. This astronomical figure is far beyond the reach of most middle-class families, forcing them to look for housing far outside the city or even in different states. The dream of homeownership is becoming increasingly unattainable for many. In New York City, the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment is over $3,500 per month. This high cost of rent is pushing people to the brink, making it nearly impossible for single-income households to survive. Even dual-income families are feeling the pinch, as a significant portion of their earnings goes towards rent. These skyrocketing costs are forcing many people to make difficult choices. Families are cutting back on non-essential expenses, foregoing vacations, and even delaying major life events like weddings and having children. The financial pressure is immense, leading to increased stress and anxiety. Some are forced to take on multiple jobs to make ends meet. This often means working long hours, sacrificing time with family, and enduring physical and mental exhaustion. The gig economy has become a lifeline for many, but it comes with its own set of challenges, including job insecurity and lack of benefits. Others are downsizing their living situations, moving in with family members, or even living in their cars. The lack of affordable housing options is forcing people into precarious living conditions. Multi-generational households are becoming more common as families pool resources to survive. The cost of living crisis is particularly acute for low- and middle-income families who are being priced out of their communities and forced to look elsewhere for affordable living options. This displacement is not just a financial burden but also an emotional one as people leave behind their support networks and familiar surroundings. The rising cost of living is not just a problem for individuals and families. It has far-reaching implications for entire communities and the economy at large. Small businesses are struggling to stay afloat as their customer base dwindles, and local economies suffer as a result. It is also a major economic issue. When people are forced to spend the majority of their income on basic necessities, they have less money to spend on other goods and services. This reduced consumer spending can lead to economic stagnation and even recession. When the cost of living is high, it can stifle economic growth. Businesses find it challenging to attract and retain workers, especially in high-cost areas. The talent pool shrinks as people move to more affordable locations, leading to a brain drain in some of the most economically vibrant cities. Businesses struggle to attract and retain workers, and consumers have less disposable income to spend. This creates a vicious cycle where economic activity slows down, leading to further financial hardship for both businesses and individuals. The crushing cost of living is a multifaceted issue that requires comprehensive solutions to address both its immediate and long-term impacts. In addition to the rising cost of living, many Americans are also grappling with economic uncertainty. The COVID-19 pandemic led to widespread job losses and business closures. While the economy has since recovered somewhat, many people are still struggling to find stable, well-paying jobs. Inflation is another major concern for many Americans. The prices of goods and services have been rising at the fastest rate in decades, eroding the purchasing power of wages and savings. This is causing many people to feel like they are falling behind financially, even if they are working full-time. This economic uncertainty is causing many people to reevaluate their living situations. Some are choosing to move to areas with lower costs of living where their money will go further. Others are moving to be closer to family or to find new job opportunities. Section 4. Seeking housing havens. The housing market is another major factor driving the Great Relocation. Over the past few years, the dynamics of housing affordability have shifted dramatically, influencing where people choose to live. In many parts of the country, the demand for housing far outstrips the supply. This imbalance has created a highly competitive market, where potential buyers often find themselves in bidding wars. This is driving up home prices and making it difficult for people to buy or rent a home. The frustration is palpable as families struggle to find affordable options. For instance, the median home price in the United States has risen by over 40% in the past decade. This surge in prices is not just a statistic, it represents real challenges for everyday people. This has made it nearly impossible for many first-time homebuyers to enter the market. Young couples and individuals are finding it increasingly difficult to achieve the dream of homeownership. As a result, many people are being priced out of their communities and forced to look elsewhere for affordable housing options. This often means relocating to entirely new areas, sometimes far from family and friends. This is particularly true in major cities where the cost of housing has become astronomical. Urban living, once a symbol of opportunity, is now out of reach for many. Many people are now choosing to move to smaller cities and towns, where the cost of living is lower and the quality of life is often higher. These areas offer a more affordable and often more relaxed lifestyle. This shift in the housing market is having a ripple effect on the economy. As people move to more affordable areas, they bring with them new economic opportunities and challenges. As people move out of expensive areas, it can lead to job losses and business closures. The exodus from high-cost regions can leave behind a trail of economic disruption. This can create a vicious cycle, as more people are forced to move to find work and affordable housing. The search for a better life continues, driving the ongoing migration patterns we see today. Section 5. The flight to safety. While economic factors are a major driver of the Great Relocation, they are not the only factors at play. Crime and safety concerns are also causing many people to pack up and move. In recent years, there has been a surge in crime in many major cities. This has led to a growing sense of unease among residents. Many families with young children are particularly concerned about safety. They are choosing to move to suburbs or rural areas that they perceive as being safer. This trend is being fueled by media reports of rising crime rates as well as personal experiences. The flight to safety is not just about crime, however, it is also about quality of life. Many people are seeking communities that are family-friendly, have good schools, and offer a sense of community. They are willing to trade the excitement and convenience of city life for a more peaceful and tranquil existence. Section 6. The Remote Work Revolution. The COVID-19 pandemic had a profound impact on the way we work. Almost overnight, businesses around the world had to adapt to a new reality. Offices were deserted and employees were sent home with their laptops, and a lot of uncertainty. With millions of people forced to work from home, many discovered the benefits of remote work. They enjoyed the flexibility, the lack of commute, and the newfound ability to create a work environment that suited their personal needs and preferences. This shift allowed people to spend more time with their families, fostering stronger relationships and a better work-life balance. Parents could be more present in their children's lives, and family dinners became a regular occurrence rather than a rare treat. As a result, remote work has become increasingly popular. Companies have started to recognize the benefits too, such as reduced overhead costs and access to a broader talent pool. This has led to a more inclusive and diverse workforce. This shift to remote work has had a major impact on the Great Relocation. People are no longer tied to living in expensive urban centers just to be close to their jobs. Instead, they are moving to suburban or even rural areas where the cost of living is lower and the quality of life is higher. With no need to be tethered to a physical office, many people are now free to live wherever they choose. This newfound freedom has led to a surge in digital nomadism, where individuals work from exotic locations around the world, blending work and travel in a way that was previously unimaginable. This has led to a surge in people moving to more affordable, desirable locations. Small towns and rural areas are experiencing a renaissance as new residents bring economic activity and a fresh perspective. The rise of remote work is likely to have a lasting impact on the American workforce. It is reshaping the way we think about work and life, offering a more balanced and fulfilling approach to both. It has the potential to reshape cities, revitalize rural communities, and create a more equitable distribution of opportunities across the country. This new way of working gives workers more control over their lives, allowing them to prioritize their well-being and personal goals alongside their professional ambitions. However, it also presents challenges. Not everyone has access to high-speed internet or a quiet, dedicated workspace. Technical issues can disrupt productivity and create frustration. Bridging the digital divide is essential to ensure that all workers have the resources they need to succeed in a remote work environment. This includes investing in infrastructure and providing support for those who need it. Additionally, companies must invest in the right tools and technologies to support their remote teams. This includes everything from reliable communication platforms to ergonomic office equipment. The future of work is here, and it is remote. By embracing this change and addressing its challenges, we can create a more flexible, inclusive, and productive workforce for the future.